You're in Brisbane, is that right?
For the moment, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm in just north of Melbourne,
Okay.
near
Whereabouts?
Trentham, near Dalesford,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice.
like an hour north.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Nice.
well, thanks for taking the time to have a
No
quick,
worries.
short intro chat today.
No worries.
Um, is there any way that you'd like to start these things as a kick off, or just
You
no?
start.
Okay. um, so the reason I reached out, it was actually funny. I was having a conversation with ChatGPT, and I asked it to do some research, and it produced your website.
Oh,
Um, and so, and then I watched your interview on butter at the gas pump,
oh yeah. Gee,
and
that's a while ago.
yeah, it's like 4 years ago, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and then I, checked out your website, and I thought I jumped on the Satsang this morning, and I
Yeah,
saw the opportunity to have a quick chat, so I thought I'd
yeah.
take that up.
Mm.
Um, so where I'm at is um, I've where to start, right? So about 15 years ago now, I had there was an incredibly and I've got to be very careful with my words here. There was a very profound experience
Mm.
when I was practicing meditation a lot and doing self-inquiry a lot at the time, like 2 hours a day or something. This is before I had kids. Um, and I was practicing. I remember it, the whole thing very vividly. And I didn't do anything. And I remember thinking this at the time, I'm not doing this. But there was Jamie got shaken off, and there was a peaceful center that you couldn't take anything from, and you couldn't add anything to it. And it was just, there were thoughts, but they were like outside this massive bubble. Like, wow, this is fucking mad. Whoa, what's going on? Like, they were like miles away. And then it was really like I was really quite a sort of, what would you call it, agnostic Buddhist maybe at the time, just practicing meditation. And this happened. I was like, whoa. I don't know how long this experience lasted. Like I say, it wasn't me. I didn't generate it. It was more like this one without a second, whatever, just shook me off for a moment and just it was just resting there in this spaciousness. And the next day I went to work. I didn't really think anything of it. And then I realized that I had a really stressful job, but nothing bothered me. I was like Teflon. Everything just flowed off me. And I remember walking around, and I had this deep sense of compassion and connection with everyone that I saw and everything. And it was that this truth was so obvious that it's right in front of our nose and you just can't see it. And it's true at every moment, and it's true at all times. It can't be any other way. And I remember emailing a friend and saying, I understand the Eightfold Noble Path of Buddhism, but it's not something that you follow, it's something that you are. It just is. It's natural and it's easy. And then then I went home. That's it. I went home at night, and I could sit at work and just drop into the deepest meditation, like at my computer with other phones going and all these emails.
Yeah.
And I got home and I had a book on my shelf. I'm just sitting, we had a flat, and I've got up to look at the bookshelf, and I got this book by Adyashanti, and I didn't understand it prior to this, and I picked it up and I read it. Started reading bits of it for some reason, and I was like, I understood completely what he was pointing to, and I knew that he, capital K, knew. And since then, that's stayed with me. So the next day, then after this, it the contraction came back in, the apparent contraction, and it was more painful than ever. Like it was like wearing a pair of trousers like 5 times too small.
I understand, yeah.
And that stayed with, that was for months. That stayed with me, that pain. And I wanted to go back to this open state. And I knew it wasn't something I'd attained because it wasn't an attainment and it wasn't mine. It was just it was the, like I say, the one, the scent, whatever, not even one, but just life experience, consciousness shaking off the apparent contraction for a moment, and then the contraction come back in, but real hard. And that sent me on the, years of more seeking and non-duality and stuff. And then more recently, probably the last couple of years, so that just gives you some context. And then, so I've dipped in and out over the years. I've got 3 kids now, and I think the last recently, so I've got a trapped nerve in my neck. I've been in a lot of pain, and it's kind of resolving itself. But it's been a real blessing because it's made me look back over the last couple of years and see how I've created all this suffering. I've been really tied into the mind and creating these stories, and there's been through this process, the contractions, like, very painful. Like, and I'm so sick of the suffering that it's creating. And I've realized that I was talking to a friend the other day, and this is what shifted something. We were talking about resistance and how I've become very anti everything in life, in terms of relationships, in terms of just life itself. I've just been very negative, glass half empty kind of. I've always been quite melancholy, but I've just got real stuck in this rut with it. And we're talking to my friend about resistance and opening the heart. I've got to open the heart and resistance. And then afterwards I was reflecting. I was like, well, what does all of that actually mean? You talk about opening the heart, you talk about resistance. It's more concepts. I'm always looking for concepts and ideas. And the resistance is just kind of saying, no, there's a thought. And you're creating this duality, this battle within and without. And then the opening the heart is like, it's not an exercise. It's just going back to that resting, and it's the acceptance. It's resting back in awareness. And I think that this process that I've been through recently, and the trapped nerve, has just really highlighted it all for me. And so, yeah, so I'm just kind of, and that's where we go back to this paradoxical thing where the power of, I've been caught in the stories of the mind, and I think I've just started to see it again. I've like woken up to that level of it. I'm like, okay, like it's almost like the mind's been pulling itself further and further down and getting tighter and tighter itself, or like the story's just, the dynamo spins faster. And I think I've only just woken up to the fact of the dynamo mind spinning. And I think the frustration I've had over the years is that I'll hear a teacher such as yourself, and I'll listen to pointing out instructions, and I know, like, I get frustrated when I can rest in, we stand in awareness, and there's a resting and there's a looking, and then I can do that for a few months, and I'm not tied up in concepts, and I'm looking, and then there's a frustration that arises because there's an expectation that at some point there'll be a shift, and it's almost like the gift of the experience, or the thing that happened. I don't know how to best label it. It was a gift, but it was also a curse because it's fueled the seeking. But I didn't create it. It just happened, and I'll be resting and allowing the mind to do what it does. And then when life just kind of carries on and the mind just keeps doing what it's doing, at a certain point I'll just get frustrated and then go back to looking for concepts again, or back to distraction. But I can see how everything I do is a distraction from this. I'll have a coffee, I'll have another coffee, I'm looking for a stimulant, I'll watch YouTube, I'll listen to a podcast. It's all taking me away from what is. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I don't know if that's
Yeah, it does.
there's no particular question there, but it's
no, but you did a very good job of describing exactly what I had experienced.
yeah.
Exactly what I had experienced. Yeah. I had a profound experience. Let's just call it that. Yep.
Yeah.
And it lasted for a while. And of course, not having any other reference point, yeah, I thought, it's happened. Oh, it's happened. Yeah. And I won't go into the full story, and then something occurred in my life, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and this massive contraction happened again, and whoop, I was stuck back in the body again. Oh, it was so heavy, and it was so dense, and so tight, and so yuck, and also so familiar.
Yeah.
You know, oh fuck. And what I then did for many years, and if I can short circuit it for you, then great. Yeah. But what I did for many years, unkind of beknownst to myself, but then again, kind of did know, was that I kept trying to work out ways of getting back to that experience. Finding that experience. I wanted that experience again because it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you know. And then when it was taken from me, I have to use that language.
Yeah, I totally understand.
Yeah. When it was taken from me or left or whatever the case may be, I was fucking heartbroken.
Yeah.
Heavily.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
so grief stricken, you know.
Yeah.
I sometimes say, you know, it was like God woke me, took me to heaven and showed me the heavens and the wonder and the bliss and the, it's a big story,
Yeah.
what I'm saying,
I
right?
know.
But
I totally understand.
it was
Yeah.
kind of like that. And then at some point, God went, okay, held me up in the air like that, and then let me go and just let me drop straight back down into this body again and back into the semi-personal self again.
Yeah.
And I never understood why that happened. I kept trying to work out why did that happen? Like, why experience something so profound and then have it seem to be taken away, you know? And it was so profound that I then spent years trying to work out how to get that back.
Yeah.
Knowing full well that the me couldn't do anything to get it back.
Yes.
So now what? So then I go, okay, all right, well, okay. I just have to let go of trying to get it back and just get on with my life and hope it returns.
Yeah.
That was the thinking that was going on. And here's what I would like to be able to impart to you if you're relating to what I'm saying.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't want that back, whatever you do, because the wanting it back prevents the opening from happening again.
Yeah. I can recognize that. Sorry to jump in, but I can recognize that.
Yep.
Even though I was like, right, I'm done with this. This is doing my head in.
Yeah.
Right. I go away and I just, don't, there's still some seeking going on, but I know that when I come back to it, like the last few days, that there's still a very subtle anticipation that something's going to happen. And there's the end. I can't, and I feel that I get frustrated with the anticipation because I can't consciously remove it, but I know it's there. There's a like I'll sit and I'll just rest in and I'm here and I'm like, oh, is it gonna happen? It's that subtle anticipation that's.
I know it very, very, very well. I know it very well. Look, let's look at it. Yeah. What's wrong with honestly, let's be really honest, okay? What's wrong with the experience of just being right now?
Nothing.
Yeah, but that wouldn't
Right
be,
now.
yeah, that still wouldn't be being honest, because we're not satisfied with this experience of being right now. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation with me.
Yeah, true.
Good, good. So there is a dissatisfaction
Yeah,
associated.
it's
Yeah.
not enough.
Yeah, good, 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 good. Yeah, it's not enough. Fuck, what the fuck? You know? And how do we know it's not enough? From the experience you had.
It's maybe mundane or ordinary.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. Okay, so we kind of arrived there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now, when I said, please do not want that back, I fucking mean it. Yeah. Because that will keep you trapped and stuck for years. You have to have the capacity to go, okay, that was an experience. All right. Let go. Let go. Because whatever that experience wasn't what was being sought. So why would good? So why would we want it back? Well, because it feels better than this. This would say, feels better than this. Yeah, I'd welcome that back. Feels better than that. But if you got that back, it won't last. It's the nature of what you experienced was for it to not last. So you don't want that back. Otherwise, you go around in circles. You'll get it back. It'll last for a moment, then you'll lose it again. And you'll want it back, and then you'll get it back for a while, and just so that's not it. What needs to be done, and it can be a real challenge for let's call it the ego. You very rarely hear me use that word, but anyway, for the sake of the conversation, the challenge is being able to let go of everything you think you've understood in regards to non-dual or the path. Yeah, let go of it all and start again, brand new and fresh right now. New. Am I the thoughts? Start back with the basics again. Yeah. Am I the thinker? Yeah. Am I the body? Yeah. Interestingly enough, yeah, even after I'd had that profound experience, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. The last thing that I came to see, which cracked everything open, the last thing that I came to see is that I'm not the body. And I would have told you it was one of the first things I came to see. But I just understood it intellectually. I'm not the body.
Yeah.
But to actually experience I'm not the body.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I kept making the statement like, how is it I can have such a profound understanding of this teaching? And yet, in the final analysis, it still bloody well feels like Terrence is here.
Yeah.
Now, what the do I do with that? Honestly, like, what do I do with that? Yeah. And I don't know how many times I said that to myself. So many times, Jamie, I said that to myself over the years. How is it? Because I was stuck for a long time. How is it I can, like, I get all this, I get it. Yet I still feel like me is here.
Yeah.
And the last time I said that, I heard myself use the word feels. Still feels like Terrence is here. I didn't hear myself use that word before, feels. Yeah. And I had more than enough understanding to know that Terrence can't feel. Terrence is not conscious. Terrence is not aware. Terrence cannot see, hear, taste, touch, smell. Terrence cannot experience being. Terrence is a concept. Terrence is nothing but a pattern of thoughts. Yeah. Yet there was still this subtle belief there that I didn't recognize. Yeah. That it was still Terrence that was sitting here feeling. Still, it's Terrence being. It's Terrence that's here. Yeah. What's the evidence of that? There's a feeling here. There's seeing here. There's consciousness here. There's awareness here. The blah, 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 blah. Jamie can't experience any of that. Zero. Unless you're telling me a thought can be aware. A thought can be conscious. Or a thought can see, hear, taste, touch, smell. Yeah. Which you know. That's why you smiled. You know it can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this beingness that's been here your whole life and has been labeled Jamie having this experience, Jamie being, is not true. The beingness is. But Jamie experiencing the being is not true. Totally not true. We can play around with that a little bit, Can Jamie feel? And the answer is, most of us say yes. Can Jamie feel? Yeah. What's your take on that? Can Jamie feel?
Well, conventionally, I'd say yes, but you would say the feeling or feelings are like thoughts that arise and pass away. They just kind of come and go in awareness. So you become aware of a sensation, and then
mind steps in and says, "This is me having this
then
sensation.
this is me.
Experiencing
this
this
is mine,"
sensation."
and I can feed it if I focus on it and tell a story. I feed it, and if I don't, it passes. Like hunger. If I'm fasting, hunger arises. It's a feeling, and then it passes. If I don't think about it, it goes. If I think about it, it drives me crazy until I eat.
But what I'm trying to get you to see there, in an absolute sense, is, can Jamie feel?
No.
Good. Second question. Can you feel a Jamie?
No.
Good. So Jamie, that being the case, and I shouldn't have called you Jamie then, but that being the case, yeah, what's this? Don't answer it. Doesn't require an answer. What's this? Holy shit, what's this? Because there's experiencing happening here. Consciousness, awareness, being, all the labels we give it, and aliveness. What's this? Because the question to what's this, you've been calling it Jamie your whole life. Even me couching it that way is incorrect. Yeah. if you can absolutely know without any shadow of a doubt that Jamie can't see, hear, taste, touch, or smell, and Jamie is not conscious and aware, then you're left with, okay, what's this?
Mm.
And it's a rhetorical, what's this? It's more like, holy shit, what's this?
Mm.
Like, and then are you able to just stay with that? And that's all. Without an outcome, not expecting anything, not desiring anything, not hoping for an outcome, nothing, just
Yeah.
Because you're right. If Jamie can't feel, then you can't feel the Jamie. And yet we base the Jamie character on the idea, yes, but I feel like I'm here, which is a false statement. The Jamie character can't feel shit. It started from around the age of 2 years of age. Yeah.
Mm.
Somewhere around there. It's been perpetuating ever since. And now we just need to challenge it. Is it true or false? Is it true or false? True or false? But, you know, where I think you're caught is the feeling. Yeah, but and you're still naming that, Jamie having that, Jamie experiencing that.
Mm.
Well, that's the process. That's what's happening. You understand?
Yeah.
Recognize, okay, that's what's happening. Is there any truth in any of that? You know, and the big truth to see is Jamie's not conscious. Jamie's not aware. Jamie can't see, hear, taste, touch, smell. Jamie is not an entity. Jamie is not a living thing.
Mm.
Jamie is nothing but a pattern of thoughts.
Yeah.
That's all. It's the pattern of thoughts that creates an idea of a Jamie, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. And that pattern of thoughts, yeah, can't experience the being. It can't. It can have a lot to say about it.
Yeah.
It can't actually experience it. And yet, from your own direct experience, it's being experienced, is it not? The being.
Yes.
Yeah. You've just got to no, it's not Jamie that's experiencing the being.
Mm.
So, okay. And I know that now. Holy shit. So what's this?
Yeah.
Let go. Let go, brother. Let go. Let go, let go, let go, let go. Because ultimately, where you're going to end up is right here. And the irony is, you already are right here.
Yes. I want to. Yeah. I'm going to take you in a minute. Yeah. Sorry.
That's all right.
I've got to take my son to this bush group.
No worries. No worries.
Thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure.
Sorry to get that disruption right at the end. My wife's
that's fine.
like, Connie, you're going to take him or what?
I get it. It's okay.
Yeah, I'd like to book in and we can have a more of a proper chat. And
we just need to chisel away at it. That's all. It doesn't have to take a long time. It just needs to be direct.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it, Jamie, is it's something that you and I do.
Mm.
We tackle it together. Do you understand?
Mm.
Like, I'm not trying to unravel a Jamie because there's not one there.
Mm.
No point in doing that. You understand?
Yeah.
So we just tackle the duality, the non-duality, the conceptual mind. We just tackle it together and work it out together. We see what we see together. And so eventually you go, oh,